Hi, everyone, and welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome to our weekly consciousness meeting. And this week, I would like to read together with you from one of the books of Karen. Just open, and there is a few stories, beautiful stories, very powerful teachings and lessons. If you are at home and you want to grab the book, it's to be continue, from to be continue. I'm going to read from, I will let you know in a second. Okay, I have the Hebrew books. I don't know in the English, but in the Hebrew book, it's page 83. It's chapter 8. Chapter 8 is, Karen is talking about helping others in the journey of their soul. Helping others in the journey of their soul. It's nice. I see a few of you already got the book. This is the book. המשך יבוא in Hebrew and to be continue in English. So Karen sharing a story here. She said one of my sons, he to share this story. And the story goes like that. One time, a student came to Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, and he raised a question.
What page in English?
It's chapter 8.
Okay, sorry.
And he raised the question, and he told him, in Passover, when we're drinking the wine, it says in the Agada that the fifth cup, it's for Elisha the prophet. And for those that will have the merit, they can even see Elisha the prophet in that night. So please, dear teacher, tell me what I should do that I can see Elisha the prophet this year. So Rabbi Levi Yitzchak told his student, go to this small town and you should do Passover in this specific house. And there you're going to see Elisha the prophet. So the student, he was so excited, right? And he did exactly what his teacher told him, and he came to that house and he see like a sheikh, like a very, very old sheikh. And he said, Oi, what I'm doing here, I'm going to do here Passover in this sheikh. But he said, you know what? Because my teacher told me I'm going to see Elisha the prophet, and I need to do it here in this place with those people, this family. I'm going to do it. I'm willing to do it and not going to go back to my house. So he knocked on the door, and the family in that house, they invite him to come inside and to do the Passover with them. But he was in shock because inside of the house was very cold, and in the house they didn't have fire, and they didn't have even food that been cooking right in that time. And he says, you know what? He said to the father, you know what? I have some money. Take a few rubles, whatever you need, and go and buy some wood for fire and to warm the house, and take money to buy food for the meal, for dinner, for Passover. And he saw that the kid doesn't have nice clothes, right? So he said, you know what? And when you buy the food, please, buy some new clothing to your kids and warm ones, because they need to look good in the night of Passover. So the student did the Passover with the family, and almost at the end of the meal, they took out the cup of Elisha the prophet, but the student, he didn't see that Elisha the prophet appeared. So he was upset till he fall asleep on the table and nothing happened. When he wake up in the morning, he felt depressed, and then after the holiday finished, he took his stuff and he saw that there is a hole in the roof. So he give the father of the family more money to fix that hole. And then he say, bye-bye to everyone, and he went back to Berdichev. So he went to his teacher and told him, my teacher, you promised me I'm going to see Elisha the prophet, but he didn't come. So he said, oh, I'm very sorry. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev told him, his teacher, why you know, you shouldn't go, you should go, he says, you should go again to the last day of Passover, the 7th of Passover, the day of the splitting of the Red Sea. And I promise you that you're going to see Elisha the prophet. So, he already lost his certainty, but he said, you know what? I'm willing to try it again. So he went back to the small town, and when he was standing before the door of that sheikh, he heard a conversation between the father and his son. And the son told the father, tonight it's the 7th of Passover, and we don't have food on our table. We don't have something to give to our family. And I'm really feel sorry for my mom and my little brothers. And the father told him, before Passover, we've been in the same situation. We didn't have nothing. But Elijah the prophet came, and he gave us money for food, to buy wood to warm the house, to fix the roof, and to buy new and warm clothing for the holiday. So maybe he will come also now to help us. So suddenly the student, he understands the meaning of his teacher. It's not that Elijah the prophet is somewhere out there. He says, Elijah the prophet, he's here. He's inside of me. And there is a beautiful teaching from Karen about it. It says that Elijah the prophet can be and exist in each one of us. And he's just waiting to be revealed. How? When we take even a small action to help another person. Because we don't want that our desire to receive oneself alone, our selfishness, will block that energy of Elijah the prophet to be revealed. And it's amazing because I was thinking about the time that we had right now. But if we think about it, like most of the people in the world right now, and I'm sure also us, we're struggling with things, right? Because with the pandemic and with money, with food, with the relationships, we're stuck in the house. Maybe it can be even emotions. There is thoughts, worries, like different things that we facing. And each one of us actually, we might face in like hard times, right? Or hard days or hard hours. But something that I think this story can help us to elevate our consciousness. It's to see, first of all, the blessings that we have, because each one of us have different type of blessings that the other person doesn't have. And we should ask ourselves, I want to see my blessings more and more, and I want to appreciate my blessings. I want to see my gifts, and I want to appreciate my gifts. And I want to check who are those that might need those blessings that I have. Sometimes we can say something, even a good word to someone, and we can elevate the person's spirit. So, many times we say something to a person, and the person say, wow, you make my day, right? Wow, what I just did. I didn't give him money, I didn't give him food, I just say something nice. And the person feels so grateful. Oh my God, wow. He might be in a bad zone right now, or feel terrible, or have worries in his mind, and I say something nice, and I elevate his spirit and feel like, wow, you make my day, right? So sometimes people actually making our day by telling us different things. So I think we should pay attention, more, and especially in those times that we need the most. As Rav Brandvan explained to the Rav, when you need something, find someone that have the same need and pray for them. And if you can help, for sure help. But if not, just pray for them. Here in this story, this guy, he actually revealed the energy of Elijah the prophet in him. And there is another section that it continues actually in chapter 8, that how the souls of the righteous people, they are among us. And it says that that the righteous people, they reincarnate not always for themselves, but they come in here to help to correct the world, to help the world to correct itself. And each generation, we know that Moses, is coming to the world to help us. And each generation have the ability to bring redemption and to finish the work, right? So it's in a potential state. Also, in our generation, we have this ability, but we're not there yet. We are on the way to achieve it, and we need to have the desire to achieve it, to want to achieve it, so it can be a personal redemption and also a global redemption. And there are also in each generation, it says that there are 36 righteous people, that the world stand on those 36 righteous. If the world not going to have concealed, actually they are concealed, 36 righteous, the world cannot be exist, okay? They hold in the world in a spiritual level. They are very special souls that they can bring a lot of healing to the world. It says that sometimes they can even leave their body and they can transfer themselves to bring healing and sustenance and whatever this country or those people need. So, many times we can meet very simple people and we can't even imagine that they are righteous or they are part of the 36 righteous people that holds the universe, right? So sometimes Karen shared that sometimes we get lucky and we can meet those special souls, especially when we didn't finish our correction yet. So Karen shares some few stories, like Karen says, sometimes it can be the Uncle Moshe, and this is in Israel, from Herzliya, or from Dimona, or from one of the cities, right, that sit next to us in the train. And suddenly he can give us a message that will change our life, forever. It's the same story that the Rav shared when the Rav met his teacher. He changed his life forever. The Rav said he couldn't imagine that one person with one conversation will change his life forever. And thank God, because we know because of that we can be here today in a way of like study Kabbalah and teaching Kabbalah and spreading Kabbalah, right? Because of that conversation of Rav Brandman with the Rav when they met, and he changed the Rav life and moving. So he says, if we're going to be open enough and we're going to be willing to listen, we might have the merit to receive the guidance from the righteous souls. Because sometimes when we see simple people, it can be one of the 36, or as it mentioned, they can travel and they can impregnate in a different person and give us a message. Okay, but we need to be open to receive the message and to listen. So Karen said, she knew a young lady that she gave birth, and the child passed away. It was the first child. He passed away in the 8th month when he was still in the womb. right? Um, Actually, she gave birth to a baby, but he was already dead. But it was very sad. But even though it was very sad, she got pregnant again, and and when the doctors told her that she can do it, and when her second son born, she felt still that she is trapped between she want to mourn for the first baby, but she want to give the second baby all her love, right? But she was in between. So one day she was walking with her baby in the street. It was packed with people, and suddenly from nowhere, like from the crowd, an old lady, totally stranger, she came to her. She looked inside of the wagon to look at the stroller. Sorry, she looked inside of the stroller, look at the baby, and she told her, "This baby, it's a gift from the Creator." And she disappeared. She went back to the crowd. So the mom, she was in shock. You know, she didn't understand what just happened, but she knew it can be that this woman, she know about her pain and what she's going through because she doesn't know this woman. But the sentence that she told her helped her to remove some of her pain and to devote herself to her new baby that he was now with her. Another story that Karen shared, that Karen saying, my best friend, she went now through a very difficult time. After her mom and her dog passed away, she understood that connection, that the even her romantic connection need to end. So one day, when she walked to the coffee place in her neighborhood, like she usually go, she liked to drink a hot cappuccino. She felt suddenly that she started to have depression, that she lost her mom and she lost her dog. When she still fighting to stop her tears, she asked herself, not from the place of a victim, but really from a place to understand why things happen to her. So she asked the question, why that happened to me? And where are they now? Where are they now? So those thoughts and feelings still spin in her head when she went inside of the coffee shop. When she was waiting next to she was in the line, she saw a woman, black woman, old woman, like, have like a kind of old clothing. And suddenly the woman turned to her and looked into her eyes, and she said something from Shakespeare. She said, the entire world, it's a stage, and all the people, they are actors. There are entrances and there are exits. And the woman, she did kind of she started to move like she's acting, that almost she going to fly from there, Karen saying, and then she went out from the store. So Karen saying that her friend, she felt weird when that woman told her that message. She was a messenger that came to give her this message, and she was in shock, but also she felt relief. She felt relief that with time, she can remove this pain. And sometimes we can be those ones that will be chosen to help someone and to be a channel for the other person, or sometimes people will be channels for us. So many times, Karen said that she been blessed to do it, to help other people because of her position, in the center, that she meeting with a lot of people and helping a lot of people. And one time, Karen saying that she was talking with one of the students that he was living in a different city, and he told her like how his life is going down and he feel bad. And in that moment, Karen said, I understand that I can help him. So I turned to one of the teachers and I told him, listen, take a few things and take an airplane and go and meet John, be with him a little bit. So he said, okay, and he took the first flight and he went to John to be with him. And that time that the teacher were with him really helped him to elevate himself. Again, saying in that case, I would just just a channel to help that person. But if I didn't hear his pain, I don't know what will happen with John. Because many times people can share with us things, but not necessarily we're going to hear their pain. Because if I'm stuck with my own pain, if I'm stuck with my own worries, I'm not going to hear his pain. Because, it's amazing, but we should pay attention to our thoughts, because many times when someone is sharing with us something, right away what's happened? The same story, or maybe worse, jumping into my mind about myself. And right away I want to share, oh yeah, it's also, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, but just a second. Stop for a second. Why the person sharing with me right now is pain? Maybe there is something I can give him or add to him that will help him to elevate his pain. Or you know what? Maybe I can't. Maybe someone else can help. So many times, people can share with us things, but we need to ask the question, why the person is sharing with me right now? There is something between the lines I need to hear. There is a message for me over there, because remember, even to remove my pain, the light many times sending us people that we can help them, and we can elevate also ourselves. By elevating them, we can elevate ourselves. So Karen say, imagine I didn't hear his pain. I don't know what will happen with John. But I was there in the right time. It says, there is a sentence that says, Yesh kone olamo b'sha'a achat. There is a person that can buy his entire world in 1 hour. V'yesh me'abed olamo b'sha'a achat. And there is a person, he can lose all of his world, all what he did in his life in 1 hour. For sure, we want to be in the side of like, I want to buy all of my world in 1. Okay, so we mentioned that for sure we want to buy all of our world in 1 hour. And many times we can save someone and we don't know that we're saving the person. It says it happened once, many times, but one of the stories, the beginning of the center, the Chevra used to open a booth. And one of those days was very, very cold and snowing in New York. And two girls, they opened a booth, a table with books in one of the parks over there. It was freezing cold. And suddenly a man came. He started to look into the books, and left. He didn't buy any book. Left, and I thought, okay, just was looking at the books and left. After a while, he came back. He took the book that he was looking into before, and he opened his hand. He have like, a little bit money in his hand, and he want to pay for the book. And they took the money, and the guy told them, you just saved my life right now. I said, what do you mean? Like, we said, save your life. We know in Kabbalah, when we helping people, so yes, we're saving the person's life, but what do you mean? So he said, this is the entire money I have left with. I was on my way to the pharmacy to buy pills and to suicide. He wanted to kill himself. And he just passed, next to in the park, next to the place that he saw the books of Kabbalah. I don't know what he was reading over there. For sure, it was the energy of the Rav and Karen and the center that touched his heart. And he turned around and he came in, he spent the last money he have and he bought the book, right? And there are many, many stories about people that have been saved with things that we can't even imagine. It was a guy that he was working in a building, open and close the door, doorman. And the same, like almost the same story. So it was another person that worked in this building. And he, when he come in the morning, he say, good morning, how are you? And continue at night, have a good night, give him some blessings and continue. And one day, this guy, he stopped him and he told him, I want to tell you that actually you saved my life. So I tell him, what do you mean? He doesn't even know him. He just give him some energy. So he told him, I'm working here, but nobody pay attention to me. I'm like nobody, right? I'm just open the door and close the door. And you are from, like almost the only person that pay attention to me and say hello, say good morning, say good night. And because of the energy you give me, I decided that I will stay here and I will fight and I will continue because I felt like I'm alone. It was a person that he was alone. And sometimes, we can't even imagine, there are situations because people need energy, people need good work, people need our attention. But many times we don't see it because we are so stuck in ourselves. And here, Karen telling us, just open yourself to the world, open yourself to other people, open yourself to situations, open yourself to opportunities. Because we know that when we help in other person outside of our box, right? And not necessarily it will be something very hard for us to do, but we just don't pay attention. So we don't want to miss the opportunity. And there is another story, and we will finish with this story. Very, very powerful story. He says, Karen shared that I heard recently a story about a cab driver that he been sent to drive an old lady. He came to her house and he was waiting for a long time outside, and she didn't come out. At the end, after 10 minutes, he decided to go and inside and to knock on her door. And then an old lady came out and asked from him to help her to carry her suitcase. After that, she told him, I want to visit in the neighborhood that I was living before. Say, okay. So she guided him and they visit all the places sorry, all the places that she had a very important and special occasions in her life. In the place that she born, the place that she grown up, the place that she had her first kiss. And after a few hours, the old lady, she gave a note with the address to the cab driver. When he stopped next to the sidewalk, he understand that this is a hospice. So he turned the engine and the meter, and he told the old lady, and he let me help you with the suitcases, and he took her in, and he didn't want to take money from her, and it was few hours. It was a lot of money, money. So Karen said, imagine what could happen if he didn't decide to go inside and he will leave the place and continue instead of knocking on her door. So he will miss, according to what he says, the most elevated and happiest day in my life. This is what he says. The happiest day in my life. And the truth is, we don't know uh, which type of opportunities will come toward us during the day and how they look like. Even we don't know. We don't know how they look like. Sometimes our job is to receive the message, to receive a message from someone, and sometimes we're going to be the messengers for someone else. This is why we need to keep ourselves open to receive a message and open to share a message. And I think it's a very powerful teaching from Karen, especially in this time that all of us, we need messages, we want to share, we want to be messengers. So let's use the energy not just of this week, of the week of Re'eh, to see the truth in everything and to see the opportunities, but to take this energy to the entire year and to connect with one. I want to keep myself open, right? Even though I'm going through a lot, and we all have a lot of things that happen in our lives, right, all around us. I want to still to be open to receive a message, and open to see if somebody else I can be a messenger for him. So I hope it will help and guide all of us. I'm going to ask from Karen. It says when we read from a book of a Kabbalist, we're connecting with the root level of the soul of the Kabbalist. So we can ask from Karen, from the soul of Karen, and that we want to connect with the root of Karen, of her soul. We can ask from Karen to guide us and to help us to see the messages, to be messengers, and to help us in our journey of our soul in this world. If someone have any question, want to share something, we have 2-3 minutes that we can do that. So please just unmute yourself.
Kabbalah saved my butt many times, including I went to prayer that day and I came out into this place in Hollywood, California, and the man confused me with somebody else. And I told the man, he put a 9mm on me. I told the man, I don't know what you're talking about. I take my hat off. And he looked at me and said, "Oh, I'm very sorry, sir. I'm very, very sorry." And he left. And 2 blocks later, somebody else got shot. Never forget that. Kabbalah, man.
Yeah.
If I may, I wanted to share 2 stories that really touched me with Karen show. One was that when Karen was in the war room, and it happened a couple of times, and she heard like a child or a baby crying, she always stopped what she was doing to ask somebody to go check it out, or even she would see what was going on. She always had that nurturing and the caring of others. Was very special, and that always touched my heart. No matter what she was doing, she would stop. And the other thing was that, she would tell the chevra and the students that were close, that were in the center for a very long time, that if you're doing a connection and you're praying and you see a new student that comes in, you stop whatever you do to make that person who's new into the center, make him feel at home. So those two stories that with Karen, I wanted to share with you guys, because it really made a difference. When you see somebody like that, you have the will to be that, to be like that, to be like Karen.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to share something that puzzled me for many years until now. I met Karen in Boca, first time. I met with her, it was one-on-one, but still. And then maybe a year later, I met her in Rosh Hashanah with thousands of people. She was traveling all over the world, meeting with hundreds of thousands of people. And then she said to me, Aviva, ma shlomech? Like, how are you? And I was shocked. I mean, how she can remember? I don't remember somebody that I met 5 minutes ago. You know, how could she remember the name? She was so genuine, so deep with everything she did. She really was something special. Miss her a lot.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Okay, everyone. I would like to wish all of us good luck in our spiritual work. Let's stay open to receive messages, to share messages, to support each other, and to ask for the guidance, and to continue the mission of the Rav and Karen, to remove pain and suffering from the world, to spread Kabbalah, to spread the Zohar, and to bring redemption with mercy. So good luck to all of us, and have a blessed day.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.